wanted to make this video and showcase a build that I've been playing in Hellclock. I use this build pretty much from Act 2 all the way to the endgame, and now that I'm in the endgame, when all of your campaign progress gets reset, I'm still trying to replicate it. I am a little short on relic inventory space at the moment, but I did just want to showcase what it sort of looks like while you're building up to that. So this isn't a really endgame sort of centric build guide. I'm just not able to go back to the campaign, and I was under the assumption I'd be able to. So if you're struggling after Act 1, because you can only get these relics in the skill in Act 2, then you should be able to use this to easily get through the campaign and get to the end game. My friends and I all played this build once we found out how stupid and broken good it is. And I'll just show you the spells that we use. So the main damage point of this build is Holy Rosary. It looks like Blessed Hammer from Diablo 2, if you're familiar with that. We use the Summon the Guard, which are these minion guys that shoot range attacks when you have an active ability as well. It gives them attack speed boost, but that doesn't really matter for our build. We use Closed Body, which is going to give us Conviction, which is a shield equal to 110% of your maximum mana. It's similar to Ward from Path of Exile, if you're familiar with that. We use Reflexes, which is this AoE around you that'll shoot knives and bounce off of enemies. And then we use Prayer of Vengeance, which gives you a passive 26% chance to critical strike, and gives you critical damage as well. When you activate it, it's going to intensify these passives by 50%. I have just leveled up my skills. I'm just going to quickly level these up. If you're in Act 2 or even Act 3 of the main campaign, you can get these up to, I believe, 7, and these will all give you global buffs for all of these abilities. So going over the relics, the main one that we're using all revolve around Holy Rosary. So this one is going to make it so it orbits around the player. This is our main one. This is going to make it so Holy Rosary casts from your summons instead. This one is sort of quality of life, but I do enjoy not having to cast as many Holy Rosaries if you're just sort of moving through a level, through an area. This one is going to increase your spell damage by 4% per active summon. This one is going to double the amount of guards you have for 4 seconds on that activation. So these two work really well in concert together, having 8 minions. And then I like to use these two relics. This one is going to give you mana on reflex hit, and this one is going to give you movement speed, stacking up to 5 times every time reflex hits. So you can just sort of run through the map and just cast really quickly. Once I have more inventory space, I am going to be using this, which really scales your damage. So during Prayer of Vengeance, which is that critical strike buff, you're going to get 100% increased projectile damage at the cost of overall damage reduction. So when you level this up, this is going to stay static, but it's going to remove this reduction over time. I don't have any of these leveled up. I do have a lot of soulstone, so I'm just going to level all of these up at least once, just so I'm not actively nerfing myself going into the Act 2 Hell Zone. And like I said, I ran this build all through campaign. You can start it in Act 2, and you can get all of the relics except this one in Act 2. Once you get to Act 3, you'll get a few more things. So obviously, you know, we can walk around, and our rosary will automatically summon from our minions. We can double it to have our 8 minions up. And then I like to put it on the spacebar. You can also put this on left click and just hold it down, and you're going to get these giant rings over time. So I'll just get to the first boss in Act 2 on Hell, just to do a little showcase. So we'll start, we'll go for flat damage, and then obviously just want to just keep everything off cooldown as much as you can. While you have Reflex up, it's going to generate mana on hit, so you won't have to worry about not being able to cast this. Mana cost is really big here, so we want to be able to just hold down spacebar or left click, whatever the keybind is for you, as much as possible. I'm not too concerned about what I'm picking up here. I think we're strong enough to get to where I want to pretty easily here. Gear isn't too important for this build, I would say. The only thing you really want, at least in the campaign, from a defensive perspective, is a ring with lifesteal on it. This is just going to give you massive leech with all of the projectiles hitting constantly. So as long as you don't get one-shot by anything, as long as you have this, you shouldn't get one-shot, you should be able to stay alive relatively easily. Guard range duration is very big, being able to have our active much longer and have those double minions. Nice. Not a lot of density right now, so we're not able to maintain our movement speed. Through here, again, not too concerned with all this. So while you are running through the campaign, things that are helpful to scale this per run, your Rosary damage is going to scale with summon damage. It is still a spell. It does elemental damage, so it will also scale with elemental, lightning damage, projectile damage, things like that. Cooldown reduction, mana cost, anything like that, really good for the build. Projectile speed, specifically on Holy Rosary, you just get these spin much faster and hit larger enemies a lot more. But you can see it's not too big of a deal. Boss here, like this. I'm just gonna sit here, wait for it to double. Just go damage. And what's the mana cost again? I'm gonna keep my current gun just because skill projectile amount, I don't know how much it truly matters. It's probably one extra projectile per cast right now. Just doing a few more rooms. At the end of Act 2 in the campaign, you'll get access to a constellation menu similar to Grim Dawn. Anything on the blue side of the tree that scales lightning, summon damage, max mana, conviction, all that stuff is going to be really good for this build. I made a mistake in my Hell campaign and didn't realize you could not get spec out of it, so I'm red, green, and blue tree right now. But as you can see, it doesn't matter too much at this point. We'll just get this for the extra shield. Elemental damage, or mana, or movement speed. Really doesn't matter too much in the end here. I'm just gonna get to the first real boss here. And then I'll probably stop there. But yeah, just wanted to showcase what this will look like while you're playing. And again, this is more of a, how to beat the campaign, very simply, not really how to scale into Endgame, but this build will scale into endgame if you desire to play it there. Get the relics in white mode after your progression has been reset. I'm also going to link in the description another video by a ARPG content creator who has a similar build guide where they use the Rosary summoners, but they do have some differences using the Bell spell to summon more minions, and they have some dash relics they use for quality of life and things like that. So I'll put that in the description. As you can see, enemies pretty much get melted when you have so much projectile damage, and you're able to scale that into the moon because there's so many things that scale elemental damage, summon damage, lightning damage, projectile damage, etc., etc., etc. So anyway, I hope this helps some people out in the campaign and can get you to the end game so you can experiment with more builds or just use the same one like I'm doing. Thanks.